Good day, YouTube, and welcome to another episode of the Albino Rhino Beer Review. You have me, the Rhino, and you have my beer. I don't have anyone to drink with. You know, people ask me all the time lately with all the new videos. They're like, oh, where's all the rest of the crew? Like 2,000 kilometers away, where there's roads and trees. I drink alone because nobody wants to review with me. That's why I drink alone, because nobody wants to review with me up here. Today's beer is from Lunn's Mill in Annapolis County is what I was told. So Lawrencetown is where this is brewed, and it's in Annapolis County, which is 20 minutes away from my buddy, which is great to hear. I really do like their label, the tree stump in the shape of a bottle with the bottle cap at the top. I really like this art style. So this is Anvil Porter. It is 5.6% alcohol by volume. Anvil is a smooth, dark porter with hints of roast chocolate and dark fruit. Bitterness is moderate and balanced nicely with the full malt body. Okay, so just tell me Anvil is a smooth, dark porter. Don't tell me what it has flavors of, because that's up to me to decide. And then after I tell you what I think is in it, it's up to you to decide what you taste in it, because taste is so subjective, it isn't funny. What you can really learn from reviewers, what you learn from reviewers is you learn if they like the same type of things as you. And if they like the same type of things as you, you can take their opinion on a beer or food or whatever they're eating or drinking, because their flavor palettes are somewhat the same as yours. And if they don't, you still might learn something from it, and you might learn something different, and you might actually... I watch reviewers that I don't agree with very often, and I watch them because the things they don't like, I normally like, and the things they really like, I normally don't. And it lets us have a nice conversation about different flavors and different aspects of the item. Now, I've been talking a lot, and I talk with my hands, so this can has been moving, so let's hope it doesn't explode when I open it up. But I'm really excited. Oh, I'm even more excited that it didn't blow up. It just got on my hand a little bit. Okay. That is a beautiful beer. No real snap, tackle, pop, which is too bad. But look at those bubbles just bursting. That's a slightly, that's a mocha-ish head. That's almost like a chocolate milk head, almost. Beer itself, a mahogany brown, deep dark brown. Scent, we'll start with the can. Now this says what? It said hints of roast chocolate and dark fruit. I smell dark fruit. I smell like plum and cherry. But I don't smell anything else out of the can. Just plums and cherries. Glass. Okay, the glass actually smells more like a stout. The glass is coming off with a bit of roasted malt. There's a bit of roasted malt, a bit of dark chocolate, and that's it coming out of the glass, and I was just getting dark fruit out of the can. Cheers. Okay. 5.6% alcohol. So of all four beers on this spread here, this is the highest ABV beer. Would I be able to tell that? Actually, yes. And it's not that I'm tasting alcohol. It's the heaviest beer of them all. It's a moderate mouthfeel. But it also has, and it says it's moderate bitterness, and I would guess that they're talking moderate bitterness via hops, because it is a fairly bitter beer, but it's not a hoppy bitterness. It's like a roasty wood with hops. So The way it plays on the back of the palate makes me think it's a higher ABV beer than it really is. Because it is only 5.6% alcohol, which isn't all that high. But if you told me it was the highest ABV beer out of this spread, I would believe you, because one, it is, and two, it tastes like it would be. Okay. A little bit of plum flavor in there. A little bit of plum, a little bit of fig. A lot of roasted burnt wood, which is more a stout flavor than a porter flavor. But their stout was very roasty and toasty as well. So they must really like that roasted malt, which is perfectly fine. I like that flavor too. It does. It's a porter, but it really does feel more like a stout. Yeah. A little bit of coffee. Wow, that feels like that was a lot more in it. That feels like it's a lot more in that can than really should have been in there. I didn't expect to pour that much more back out. That's the greatest thing about these cups, right? Like these glasses, especially any glass, any beer glass that tapers at all, you don't really realize just how much a couple milliliters makes in a milliliter. Excuse me. I apologize for that, anyone from Lunn's Mill. I always want to call you Lunn's Mills. Since I've started drinking your beer, I've been saying Lunn's Mills over and over again. I can't stop. Okay. So it tastes more like a stout than a porter. Chocolate, roast, toast, charred wood, plum, fig. It's a very nice beer. It's not, I'm going to say this right now before I give it its mark out of 10, it's not porter dance motherfucker territory. It's not the best porter I've had. This is a solid stout though. If they said, you know, Anvil stout, I wouldn't argue with it. I wouldn't be like, oh, it's a bit thin or anything like that. I'd be like, okay, it's a stout. As it is, why is that temperature up so high? I don't even know what this thing does. I should stop playing with it. It says that it's 86 degrees in this room, though, which is hotter than the rest of the house. It's a good porter. It's a very good porter. It just reminds me more of a stout than a porter. Does that mean anything bad? I'm going in circles now because, you know what? It's an 8.5 out of 10. It's a solid beer. I would buy it again. I would drink it again. If I was anywhere near this brewery, I would go and get this. I think this cold would be amazing, and that's coming from a guy that doesn't drink his beer cold, but I'm just thinking about what this would be like if it was served to me at the brewery itself instead of me having it in my house, in my furnace room, at room temperature, and apparently the room temperature is 86 degrees right now. This isn't the room I store my beer in, don't worry. Solid beer. Cheers, guys.